Hi, this is Jay Asseng from Twin Peaks: The Return. You're listening to Inspirado Projecto.
Today is the 2nd, Monday the 2nd, Labor Day. I'm heading up to K-Chung, and I was just thinking, I was walking, I'm a pedestrian, and I was walking, and something echoed into my brain, something that some people, I heard someone was saying something to me the other day about how, they were just basically like, watch where you're going, because people have been getting hit by more cars lately or something about the idea that just really watch where you're going, really look around at the crosswalks and really make sure that you got yourself safe, you know where you're at. Make sure that no cars are going to get you. But someone always say something about cars were, I don't know if it was just in Los Angeles or, exactly where. But yeah, they said something about that. At the crosswalks, people have been getting hit. And so it started making me think, with the conspiracy theory mind, the investigative mind that I have, I started thinking, wow, right now there's this, I don't know if I'll call it a revolution, but more of a awareness and catering to pedestrians. If you notice, I don't know if you got them in your town, but there are these little scooters all over the sidewalks. And what's so cool is it enables folks who are walkers to utilize, they're smart scooters, as they say. They're smart. Are we smart in giving them our private information? Yet one more company? Is it smart for us to give them our information and for them to share that? Who knows? That's not the point of this talk, of this thought, of this epiphany. Point is, there's more of a catering to, more of an idea of, hey, let's help out the pedestrian. And it might be encouraging a lot more people to not use their cars as much and to get out there and utilize these scooters. So I started thinking, okay, what would be, let's try to think of ways, whatever the motivations would be of particular companies that might not like that idea of the pedestrians not using cars, not using the gas. Who's suffering at that? And I use suffering very loosely and in big quotes. Who's suffering? Who's missing out, so to speak? Who's missing out the attention of those pedestrians, of those people who would otherwise might be driving up to the store, but instead they see a little scooter parked up in front of their apartment complex and they go, you know what, this is what I'm going to do instead. I'm going to zip this up there, quick 10-minute ride, there it is. Now, with the grocery store situation, obviously, you got groceries to worry about that you got to carry. So who knows if that's the best analogy. So, who's missing out on that? Well, the mechanics, because there's not wear and tear happening on the car. gas stations because you're not using gas. Let's see. So it could be one of those things that let's say the oil industry or whoever puts out there to give this idea. Oh, see, it's better to drive the car than to be hit by the car. See, you guys, it's not so smart being a pedestrian. It's not so smart. So that had popped in my brain. I think about let's say, the billionaire rich person, the billionaire who has a certain agenda, or they want to change the landscape, so to speak, the social everything landscape. What would that billionaire do? Well, they might start making up rumors. They might start going to Fiverr and hiring people to write articles about this stuff. From all these years of working behind the scenes in the television and film industry, I've learned a lot about what really goes on behind the scenes, goes on in creating the media that you're watching, the media that's out there. They tell us it's true. If a liar tells you that something they're saying is true and you don't know they're a liar, there you go. You might be one inclined to believe that truth. And of course, this gets into a dicey situation, because if you're investigative and looking to find the cracks, so to speak, in what's going on, and you find it, see, there's that lens. So now it's a tricky thing, because now you got this lens where you're looking at everything possibly through that lens and wondering, what's the magic trick? What's the magic trick? And there doesn't have to be cynicism involved. A curiosity in wanting to know the true story. I think that's a good way of putting it. A curiosity in learning the true story. What are the ingredients to this cake? I'm eating this delicious cake. What's in it? Oh, paraffin. What do they call it? What do they call that now? It's on all the dishwashing. Petroleum. All of these things that are concocted in laboratories. It's all chemistry, and they make things taste like certain things. Certain tastes trigger certain receptors in the brain, the dopamines, all that razzmatazz. So when you got your top psychologists who know how to play the human like a fiddle, then you're going to, you hire those people for your company. They take care of that stuff for you. So they know that it hits on all cylinders, like McDonald's. No one's really questioning what's inside that beef patty. What's actually in there. So, people don't want to hear that hot dogs are made up of lips and assholes. No one wants to know that. At least not those who are just stopping by. Oh, it's a hot dog shop. Let's go and get a hot dog. And then how does that come into play with someone who manifests their reality? All of those things. How does that come into play with manifesting your own reality and creating and choosing the life that you want to live. These are a lot of interesting things to ponder. As I make my way down the subway, we will talk more about these shenanigans later. Some kind of event going on over here with Lana Del Rey. I'm going to ask these guys what's going on. Hey guys, what is this event?
Excuse me, let me finish talking to my gardener. Just say, that.
So what we see back here is a few picnic tables, some umbrellas. They're playing Lana Del Rey music. A bunch of people in here.
Yeah, of course. They've been waiting hours in this heat. Yeah, if I see anybody off.
Who really knows what's going on? We're going to try to get the scoop here. So what is it? What is all this stuff about?
10 more? Yeah. How many? 4.
Oh, never mind.
So, what is this? Is this a Lana Del Rey listening party?
Nah, just like a pop shop, they call it.
Oh, okay.
Are you going to do anything?
And so, what is she here? Will she be here? No.
Maybe.
Oh.
Could be.
How long is this going on for? Do you know?
Till 8 o'clock.
Oh, it's just one day.
Well, it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, it was a few days.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. This is really great, man. Are you enjoying the event so far?
Yeah.
Meeting some nice people?
Yeah, and jerks, all
Yeah.
that, a-holes, all that stuff.
Oh, it's too bad, man.
It's cool though. I mean, it doesn't make me snap or nothing. It's just they make themselves look stupid.
Yeah.
And odd.
How many people do you usually put in there at a time?
10 to 20.
Oh, that's
varies. The line starts going down. They'll tell me 10 or 15 or so. Then they get to buy food or whatever, and then take photos and then leave.
Okay. Do they have a time limit in there?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so there's someone kind of monitoring them.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 other guards in there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thanks for letting me know, man. You take care. What's your name?
Robert.
I'm Kurt. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Have a good time out here. So there you go. Lana Del Rey event. Pop-up shop. It's interesting because yesterday, I was talking with Josh Eisenstadt about the those pop-up stores, the Twin Peaks ones that they had, and that was awesome. We're seeing a lot more of this stuff going on. Does this happen in your town? Do you guys have these pop-up shops that are like for a week or so ago? They had the Peach Pit, 90210 Peach Pit, in honor of this new series that's coming out. Also, I gotta ask if any of you living out here in Los Angeles, did any of you happen to go to the Lana Del Rey pop-up shop? What were your experiences? I'm very curious. Perhaps you even went to the Peach Pit pop-up shop. If so, I'd love to know. What was your experience? What was that like? Wow, man. This, there is so much creativity going on everywhere. But I'd say out here in Los Angeles, because that's the only place I live right now, I'd say there's a whole hell of a lot of creativity going on out here, and a whole lot of exciting, astounding, creative. I just met, this is crazy. Well, first of all, I had a terrific Inspirado Projecto K-Chung episode. I had some wonderful guests on there. I'm not going to give away anything, so you're going to have to listen to that episode. Go to mixcloud.com/Inspirado Projecto and look up the one for September 2nd, Labor Day. Look up the September 2nd, Labor Day episode, and you will hear what I'm talking about. Who knows? This podcast episode might even come out after the K-Chung episode comes out. I'm on my way home now. I send the file to me. I send the MP3 to me through WeTransfer. Some might say, well, why don't you just carry a flash drive? That's another good option. I can do that too. I can do that too. Thank you for that suggestion. So I email it to myself, and then I open it up and I upload it to Mixcloud. So this is the exciting part. While I was there in the studio, I was about to leave. I was kidding. I was nearing the end of the episode. I was talking to someone on the phone, which is a new thing that I'm going to start doing more often, is talking to people on the phone, so that way they don't have to be in the studio. It'll spicing it up. So what's crazy is I got to meet, remember when I told you how much I was flipping out when I met George Jensen, who was one of the original creators of K-Chung? Well, today I met Michael and Nicole, who are the general managers of K-Chung. And these are the folks that I've been talking, that I've never met them in person. Never met these people in person. Yet today I met these people in person. It was awesome. It was awesome. They were open to suggestions. They told them all about KaPow. And they seemed very excited about being a part of the madness. So if I could get them excited, get them telling people about it, we could have a real fun time. What I'd like to do is ideally get one of those folks out to, ideally the person who knows the mobile transmitting stuff the best. Have that person come out and check out LA Grip, check out the situation, so that way they can kind of visualize where they'll set up, how they'll set up, the Wi-Fi stuff. We kind of have some preliminary sort of rehearsal, if you will. We can find out what radio dial works the best, and then we can start promoting that. I just love that idea of promoting the radio dial to people. Say, hey, guess what? You tune into your old-time radio. Tune into the old-time radio state. Get out your old radios. Turn on, tune in. And then other people could obviously stream. So that's something I'm very, very, very excited about. Very, very, very excited about. The hits just keep coming, don't they? The hits just keep on trucking. The Ventura County Fairgrounds, the Behemoth. Have you ever heard of the Reservoir Dogs soundtrack? It's very, very funny. Very. It's funny. Why is it funny? Well, good songs in there. What I like is the DJ on there, Stephen Wright. Oh my God, this is so cool. I talked to Michael and Nicole. This is kick-ass. How cool is this? I met the people who are at the epicenter of this stuff. God, that's so astounding. I met the people at the epicenter of K-Chung. And so now, now what? Now we get the ideas cooking. We get these guys all talking to each other. We get interactions happening. We get the meetings of the minds going on. So, yeah, I'm very, very, very excited. I'll talk with you guys more about these shenanigans later. It's now September 3rd, the day after K-Chung. We see two new scooters out here that definitely deserve Yali Crew stickers. I'm all out at this point. So today's the day after K-Chung. I just got a text that my Aunt Gloria is now in hospice. She can transition into the great unknown any day now. There's no telling when. Her health just kept declining. One day she apparently was trying to take a shower. This is like a year or so ago. She's trying to take a shower, and then she slipped and fell, and she just unconscious. And the kids weren't hearing anything from her. You know, my cousins, they weren't hearing anything from her. I don't know if she got knocked unconscious or what, but they ended up finding out that she really hurt herself, and so she went into the hospital, and that did something weird. I mean, that somehow related to that. It looked like it was hard for her to walk. So then she was confined to a wheelchair, and then about a couple weeks ago, I think, she tried to get out of her chair to go to the bathroom, because normally people have to help her out, and she ended up falling on her back and hurting herself again. That injured her, and she got in a bad shape with that. So now, she's just been kind of in and out of consciousness, mostly out of consciousness. So when you hear these things about your relatives, I mean, I got so many fond memories of us going out there to her house during the holidays, all the fun times with the family. It's so strange how you can be so close to family, and due to whatever circumstances, you sort of, I don't want to say you become estranged, but you especially if I moved out to California. They're all out there in the Chicagoland area, and so when you hear stories like this, it really makes you think about your own mortality, of course. Right now, as I'm podcasting, my aunt is unconscious, and she might die by the time I release this podcast. Isn't that strange? So right now, this woman exists as this personality, as this earthling that has lived a whole life, seen so many things, has such a great sense of humor, made so many friends, so many stories, so many memories, and then it all could just go away in a couple days. And and to think that could happen to anybody, to any of us, at any time. I've been doing this KaPow scheduling a lot lately, trying to get all these little tiny pieces in, and I gotta admit, it's very, very frustrating. I've probably talked to you all about this. As you know, you're kind of, in a sense, my personal therapist, and also a record for my future self, of course, to listen back on. But there's nothing that really prepares us for this. There's nothing that prepares you, or a really good way of handling these types of situations when a loved one dies and transitions into the next realm, into the great unknown. You just don't. There's no way to really fully wrap your brain around this thing. They're here one day, they're gone the next. One day you can talk to them, the next day you can't. I just encourage every single one of you, please follow your dreams. Call your parents. Call your guardians. Call the people that are close to you in your life, the people who have been there for you and that you share good rapport with. Call them up. Tell them you love them. Call them up on the phone. Actually, call them up on the phone. All right, I'm going to head in here and start getting my rent stuff figured out. We'll talk more later. September 3rd, 8:50 p.m. I'm taking a little trip. I'm borrowing Jenny's car right now. Taking a trip. Take a little trip with me. Taking a little trip. Got the air conditioning on. You know, it's so funny because I'm wearing my Yachtly Crew hoodie. One would think, what the hell do you need a hoodie for in the summertime? People are probably going to be walking around in their tank tops, their shorts, and why is that guy wearing a hoodie? Well, I carry my postcards in the pocket. I'm all out of stickers, but I carry my postcards right here in the pocket. I'm going to hide them all over the store. It's part of the fun. When you're in a band, when you want to market things, it's fun to like just go out there and give them out to the people. Even if they're Easter eggs. That's part of the fun. That's part of the art form. It's a very patient art form. When you hide Easter eggs, it's a very patient art form. It teaches you to love the process. It's a very good example in just really appreciating and loving and getting a kick out of the process. It takes away all power of impatience. It's great. It's a great way to redefine the situation because you're not sitting there, standing by going, oh my God, is someone going to see it? Is someone going to find it? Is someone going to see the show? There's no, my job is done once I was just scratching my hand. The palm of my hand was itchy, and I was just scratching it on the steering wheel. That's something I will not do again. Did a little wibble wobble there in the car. So it's it could be a very patient art form. Sometimes when I think of the word patience, there's the avenue of going, I'm patient and I'm biding my time. I'm patient. I'm tolerating the patience. I'm tolerating the time spent between when I want this thing and when I'm getting it. And, what goes along with that is sometimes you're just really boiling underneath that. You're boiling, just waiting. There's another kind of patience where which is what I'm really, it's great I'm saying this out loud. I'm really trying to do infinite patience in whatever aspect. During traffic, during walking through the grocery store, walking down the sidewalk with slow people. That's a patience. And if I am to believe that I am a being that manifests my realities, then certainly all of this is here for me, working for me in a way that best helps me. And so there's that kind of patience too. Going, this is what's happening. We're patient. So handing out these little postcards, that's a kind of patient art form. It's a fun, you just appreciate it for what it is. You don't care. You have no attachment to a care or a hope that someone finds it, reads it, looks at the website, or even shows up to a show. All matters of desperation are non-visible. And there's no effect there where it's hounding you to get it done. So it's fun. So that's what I'm doing. Gonna go do that. Got to get some new pants for KaPow. I was looking at photos from KaPow last year, and I'm like, whoa, the pants I'm wearing right now are the same ones I was wearing back then. Not that that's an issue. However, I just want pants that just, fit me better. So, having said that, this looks like this is going to be our last year at NoHo 7 Lemley. The past 3 years we've done it, and apparently it went up $500 last year. I didn't know that. And they just sprung on us that it's going to go up another $1,000. And we said, what? Last year it was this amount to rent the theater. Now you're giving it's another $1,000? We just barely made last year's rent from what we got through the Film Freeway stuff. You're jacking up the price. We're not rich here. We're not rich here. We make enough to cover expenses. This is a passion project. No one is actually. I think last year we actually made our money back. I think we had a little extra, maybe about $500 that we put back into the account to help us pay for this year. Well, now we hear that they're jacking it up another $1,000. Well, come on, folks, let's not get greedy here. Do we need to get greedy here? Man. So then we rely on the filmmakers to invite their friends, their family to come out, see the films. Yes, this makes it tricky for those who live far away in other locations. Foreigners coming in from who knows where. And you know what? This is interesting. This makes me wonder, what is it inside of us that makes us want to air out the dirty laundry? What is it that makes us want to... Because really no one wants to hear the dirty laundry, do they? Does anyone actually truly want to hear, like... Whoop, that was the street. Does anyone actually truly want to hear all of the inner workings? Like, let's say you show up late for some place, and then you feel compelled to give them all these reasons or to tell them all this stuff that's in your personal life. Do they really need to hear that? No one really wants to hear that. Let's just cut to the chase. Let's talk about the reasons why we're here, what we're doing, and bam, 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 bam. So, I'm now thinking, in retrospect, how retro is that spect? I just said it 30 seconds ago. In retrospect, what is going on? Am I where I need to be? That's the question here, folks. I'm a little misplaced, but I'll tell you what. I guess we're always where we need to be, aren't we? Otherwise, we wouldn't be there. The universe wouldn't have us there at that moment in time unless there's something to learn and information to apply. So, I am coming through. Hang on. So what makes us want to decide to air out the dirty laundry? Is it a sense of that we want help? Are we saying these things out loud because we want someone who has the answers? So they go, oh, okay, here you go, here's a solution. Some folks just want to get it off their chest. Well, okay. And then some folks want to get it off their chest and keep getting it off their chest and keep getting it off their chest and keep getting it off their chest. And someone's handing them solutions as to how to get past that so they don't have to be tortured by this thing and don't have to complain anymore. Both for the benefit of the person who's listening to the complaining and also for the person who's doing the complaining. Because ultimately, who wants to be billed as a complainer? Who wants to be known as a complainer? Not I. Not I. Am I trying to gain sympathy from you? Oh, me, poor me, I need it. Oh, that poor guy. Oh, he's dealing with this. Oh, that poor guy. Some folks are sympathy whores. They just want sympathy all the time. So, I'm just letting you folks know it's a dirty thing to be a swindler. It's a dirty thing. It's a rotten thing to suddenly spring things up on people that you didn't tell them before until the last second. That's what they call the bait and switch. That's what's called the bait and switch. You bait them with this and bam, switch it. Do you have friends like that? I have former acquaintances like that. All right, here we are. We are here. I'm going to take you with me through this journey, at least for a little bit of it. All these fluorescent lights, wowzers. I sometimes wonder when I walk through these stores if I'll ever see some of the students that I've substitute taught. Sometimes I do. Sometimes it's hard to recognize these folks. Sometimes, especially now that I got long hair and a beard, I'm sure it's very tricky for them to even recognize me. All right, we're going to hang up here because we got store music going on. I don't want to capture that. We'll talk to you later. Believe it or not, folks, we are not at a mariachi concert. We're actually at a parking lot. They're blasting it out of their car so unapologetically. There it is. One of the things I wanted to say concerning KaPow. Well, first of all, we definitely love to see you out there. We would love to see you out there. Please come out. Visit us September 13th through the 19th. I'll be there the 15th through the 19th. I've got 2 Yachtly Cruise shows. But we would love to have you out there. And especially, I'd like to put the call out there to podcasters. Any podcaster that wants to come out, there is so much great information that you're going to get, so much extraordinary content, because you'll be able to interview these filmmakers, especially if you got one of those podcasts where you focus on the filmmaking process and the behind-the-scenes stuff. You're going to really get a kick out of that, because these people are coming from all over the globe. We got a gal coming in from Kuwait. We got people coming in from Mexico. We've got people coming in from North Carolina. It's crazy. It's kooky. It's ali-ali-ooky. And these folks are, just ripe with information. And they cannot wait to share it. One of the things I am trying to wrangle right now is get K-Chung. And what a beautiful team up that would be. KaPow and Ka-Chung! KaPow and K-Chung! 2 dynamic superhero names. Just brilliant. So I sent out an email to those guys. All of the people that are subscribed to the lists on K-Chung, I sent out that list. I said, folks, I would love it. I would absolutely love it if you came out and broadcasted live from the weekdays. What I'd like it is that it's like 10 a.m. until 12:30, because the first showing is at 1. So I want those guys in there talking about that stuff. So if you happen to own a theater in Los Angeles, or if you happen to know of someone who has a theater who would be open to putting the film festival on there, please direct them my way. Have them sign. Have them email kapowIFF@gmail.com, and I'll talk to them about it. We'll talk to them about it. Please. Yeah, if you know of a good theater. But, these guys got to be good vibes. They can't be swindlers. They can't be they got to be people who understand that there's, a process in this whole thing. And we're not trying to take advantage of anyone. We got to make it mutually beneficial. That's my mission in all of this and all of my projects. Mutual beneficiality. And that's the key right there. Ensemble. All for one, one for all. Cooperation, collaboration, reciprocation, precipitation. There it is. That explains it all. Alright, this guy looks a little squirrely. Sometimes you're on a freeway, some people look a little squirrely. They got a little squirrely, maybe they're moving a little erratically. So you just gotta be careful. Actually, I'm gonna let this dude pass me up. Joke's on them. Zippity-doo-dah. You're no longer next to me, bub. There you go. So if you, please, direct us towards those people who own the film festivals. I want mutual beneficiality in anything I do, everything I do. And out in California, that's rare. It's even slightly unheard of. And when I explain this idea to people, they, it's tricky for people to wrap their minds around it if they haven't experienced that before, a true ensemble, where everybody is really trying to get the best out of one another in that group. That's the key to it right there, folks. That's the key. So, no matter how much time and energy we put into looking like some sort of image that we're putting out to the public, there's a lot more energy that's being spent in doing that than the energy that could be spent on just doing what we love doing, turning up the volume on others. See, when you turn up the volume, when you turn up the encouragement to everybody in the band, to everybody in the situation that you're working in, and you're there to tweak each person in there to be awesome, what happens is, if everybody's doing that, you get it back. You get that energy back from everybody, because everybody's distributing it. And you're not at a loss. You're not losing anything. There's plenty of abundance for everybody. Because everybody understands that. They understand that they're giving plenty of abundance. They're receiving plenty of abundance. And what a beautiful thing that is. What an extraordinary thing that is. Man. Oh man. I've learned. It's so funny. My comedy, if you could call it that, has been to say stuff with such a straight face that people do not know that I'm joking. I mean, I could push it to the limit in terms of the absurdity, and if I don't break character, that people are not going to know. So it gets me into trouble, especially in text messages. You cannot tell the nuances in text messages. You cannot distinguish. I mean, even if you know that person and you know their hearts and you know that they're really not trying to hurt your feelings, it can still come off the wrong way. So sometimes I reread the stuff that I write. I've had discussions with people before, and they're like, "What?" They just can't believe it. Because they think I'm actually serious in what I'm saying. But in my mind, I think that what I'm saying is so completely absurd that there's no way they would think I'm serious, especially if they know my character. I realize it's tricky for new people. And then what do you do in that circumstance? Do I hold their hand and that's what I noticed, throughout the past I've given... So that's what's so beautiful about having a podcast. I don't have to just give little bits and until people feel comfortable with the full enchilada. My podcast, it just has it all. And whatever you do resonates with those who are tuned into the same vibe. They understand it. They get it. They get it. And that's the beauty, isn't it? That's the beauty, when you can all laugh together at the same joke. When you can all geek out about the same movies, music, video game, comic book, what have you. There's just nothing like it. It happens with TV shows. It happens with all kinds of shenanigans, all kinds of stuff. It feels really good, that community vibe. And I think that's an inborn thing that's in us. It's been said that we are hardwired. You hear that term a lot, hardwired. We're hardwired for noticing patterns. Okay, so what is the root of a pattern? A connection. Something that makes sense, a connection. Connecting the dots. It makes sense. And so, with that connection, we love the joy that brings us when we're in a group of two or more people who can really laugh absurdly with us, push it to the limit. And I've got some friends like that oh my God. At first they're nuts. They're like, what are you talking about? All this crazy spiritual, what are you doing? What is that? And then I don't see them for a while. Then it marinates. The synchronicities, all that jazz, that I've talked to him about before. It marinates. And then at some point, what's exciting is that oh my God, I lost my train of thought because I just turned and now I'm trying not to hit people in the streets. We'll talk more about this later because I'm about to go down in the parking garage here, so I'm going to lose some reception anyway. So we'll talk more later, but please, if you're a podcaster, get a hold of us, okay? If you got a theater, you want to put on a film festival, get a hold of us. Thank you. Purple line, it always shows up on time.
Every time I listen to Inspirado Projecto, I hear these new kids talking about Yachtly Jew. Yachtly Jew did this, Yachtly Jew did that. What are they, my sugar nut? When is it ever going to end? What are we going to do here? I don't get it. Have had Nathan's hot dog, they're kosher.
I'm sorry to ruin the beautiful nature of this podcast, but I was thinking when you started talking about sending a dead letter to the dead letter office was to write a whole hurl of insults. Is that wrong? You just imagine some poor person opening up a letter thinking, oh, dear dead letter office, beep beep beep. Okay, that's it, as you were.
Pero ya estaba muy pesada, mejor le corté porque dije no, vaya y me va a tirar el largo. Entonces mejor le quité el peso. Hoy lo que voy a hacer es que lo voy a dejar, esta de aquí sí la voy a dejar que se venga.
Just thought I'd catch some of the landscaper dudes outside having their brainstorm sessions. You know, I gotta say, thank you so much for being here with me during this whole crazy journey with KaPow, putting this film festival together. It's really been therapeutic, and you've probably listened and gone, what the hell, please shut up about your bitching, your moaning, please. For crying out loud, will you just, oh man, you're making me crazy with this film festival stuff, man. Please stop complaining. At least you're doing something that you love. So shut up. I'm sitting here in my 9-to-5 job. Quit your bitching. Quit your complaining. So, thank you. Thank you for Thank you for sticking in there with me. Being there with me on the journey. You know, I woke up this morning. First thing I did, well, I hate to admit, but I looked at my Instagram. That's where I post all my promos for this podcast, actually. If you ever want to interact with me on Instagram, by the way, Maria from Strong Body, Strong Soul, and Clay, and Mr. Tourettski, what is up? These three characters that I just mentioned, these three characters, man, I gotta tell you, there's nothing like eating carrots. These little tiny carrots. Oh my God. Carrots and coffee. So these three characters that I just mentioned have their own podcasts on Anchor. And we all I don't want to say migrated, but we added other layers to our multi-dimensional. We've added other layers to our multi-dimensionalities and found each other on Instagram as well. So you can find me on Instagram. Look for Inspirado Projecto, all one word. Let's be friends. Let me know that you heard me on the podcast, and that's what brought you over there. Because I like to keep track of that stuff. Because then I can check out your pictures, check out your videos, and then I can check out your podcast. If we don't know each other yet. So and then if that's the case, then we can collaborate with each other, which would be great. I absolutely love the collaborative aspect of Anchor and also Instagram. So the first thing I did, I woke up this morning, I looked at my Instagram, and the first thing on there I saw was a video by Teal Swan. Now, last night I was thinking about Teal Swan. I was going to reference her in a comment. Just someone I was talking with. And she's a spiritual teacher, a philosopher, channeler, filled with insightful information. She does what she calls shadow work. And she dives deep in there. You get into the inner workings. You find out the reasons why you do what you do. These are big deals here. Abraham Hicks is another great one. Bashar. Look up these people on YouTube. Teal Swan has a YouTube channel too. Very insightful stuff. This is human being type stuff. This is going down into the roots and finding out the reasons why we do what we do. Alcoholism, drug abuse, all that stuff. You dive deep in there and you find out. I mean, it's like some people pay to go to psychologists to find out this information. This is free psychological and universal truths. This isn't just someone who you're paying, $100 an hour to get this wisdom from. These are people who actually want to make the world a marvelous place. They want you, and it starts with you. They want you to be in a marvelous place, because that's where it begins. This podcast, that's the mission. Not necessarily to complain about working on a film festival or what have you. It's about, figuring out how to become the best versions of ourselves. Revealing that, allowing that to shine, allowing that to come through. The sculpture David, where he's got his arm, he's holding on that rock, the David and Goliath sculpture. It's been said that as that was chiseled away, it wasn't necessarily trying to chisel this form into the stone. It was revealing what was already there. So when we do our best in revealing what is actually already there, that is just waiting to be seen, appreciated, encouraging, inspiring to the world. Boy, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Start on the inside. So I woke up seeing these videos, and when you wake up first thing in the morning, whatever you fill your mind with first thing in the morning is kind of how the rest of your day is going to be dictated. It's pretty much the starting point, the starting domino as to how the rest of that day is going to unfold. So I saw these Teal Swan videos. I went through a bunch of these things, and oh my God, I was just feeling lighter and lighter and lighter and more in tune. And I just went off to the store. I just came back. I didn't have any coffee at all. I didn't even eat anything yet. And I felt like I had a coffee buzz. And holy moly, did that affect my interactions with the people at large. Now, guess what? Since that started off my day, the whole rest of the day, that's the lens that I'm going to be looking through. Any KaPow situations, any whatever situations that might require a series of intricate little gears and findings and switches and cogs and wires and veins and arteries and xylems and phloems. Bam. Taken care of. It's all going to basically be encompassed, umbrellaed, biodomed, ecosystemed within that intention, within that perspective. There's no joke when people say, "Oh, did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed today?" That's a wonderful expression right there. That's a wonderful expression. Because when you wake up on the right side of the bed, basically, that's the start of your day. So rather than filling our minds with news of all of the things that these news channels want to broadcast to us, telling us about all the terrible things in the world and all this stuff, because who wants to feel that weight on their shoulders first thing in the day? Nobody wants to feel that weight in their shoulders first thing in the day. You want to feel weightless first thing in the day. You want to feel like you can handle all kinds of stuff. I'm watching the cats play hide and seek right now, which is just so adorable. These guys, oh my God, these guys, they're so adorable. It's so funny. Hi, Gonzo. Hi, Gonzo. When it was just me and Gonzo living here, Dr. Gonzo, when he and I were just living here, I'd play hide and seek with him all the time. I'd peek around the corners, then I'd hide, and then I'd peek around the corner. I'd see him, and I'd whoop, and all of a sudden he'd come running over to me, and then I go, yeah! And then I go chasing after him, and then he'd go hide around a corner. And then, oh my God, it was just this fun back and forth thing. So I taught him that, and then he taught the other two cats that, Oliver and Marky. Those are my sister's cats, and so he started teaching Oliver and Marky, and now those guys do it. They do it. Hi guys. Oh, you guys are so cute. You got a great hiding place there, Marky. Check out Marky. He purrs even if you just look at him. Okay, he purrs even if you just look at him here. Let's check out the purring of this man here, this orange creature. Whoa, where'd you go? Where'd you go? No, don't swipe at me. I'm just trying. Don't swipe. So folks, this is my public service announcement to you. First thing of the day, fill your brain with something that motivates you. Fill your brain with something that excites you. Fill your brain fill your senses with something that really puts a spring in your step. Added to the fact, find yourself appreciating the process of what you're creating. I'm speaking from experience. I mean, you went through me with this experience with KaPow. It's still not over. I still got to make I still got to pick out nominees. So there are so many moving parts, so many little moving parts. And I'm sure someone wrote a guidebook of some sort on how to do film festivals. So I probably should have read that. And if it's out there, I will read it. If it's not out there, I just might write it. Oh God, you guys. That's part of the thing. That's a reminder for me to when I embark on a large project and you've got all of this stuff just thrown at you, all this stuff just coming at you. Take each piece at a time. It doesn't have to be this overwhelming monster. And when you get through this thing, when you have this intention and then you create this thing, oh my God, the joy that can come from that. The joy, that's the reward. That's the reward. Because otherwise, what's the point in intending something and then doing it? You have a dream, bam, it comes true. Okay, now's the time to celebrate that dream. Yeah, but it didn't have this. Yeah, but that didn't go right. Yeah, but we could have done this better. Yeah, but... Well, okay. When we train ourselves to have that mentality, then no matter what happens, even if everything goes off without a hitch, there is still going to be that residual thing, that possibility, that residual thing in your brain to go, oh, well, yeah, we got all this stuff, all this, all this. But we could have had this thing, this extra thing. So, man, really appreciate the dream, the fact that it evolved. And what really helps is enabling the dream to be what it wants to be. We got to remember that the dream has to be what it wants to be, because that dream first came to us out of the ether. It came out of nowhere. At some point, we did not have the dream. And then at some point, we did have the dream. At some point, we did not have the dream. At some point, we did have the dream. What is that? That's the epiphany. That's the lightning strike. The universe going, bam! Here's something. It's almost like giving us a glimpse into the future. Here's something. And it's just, sort of a loose blueprint of this thing. And you cater to it. You let it be what it wants to be. Now, of course, the more people that you got involved, they're going to add their input. They're going to add their insight. And if the input and the insight doesn't take away from the dream, if it adds to it, adds value to it, moves it forward, then why not accept it? We can contribute or we can contaminate, as my Uncle Arnie used to say. He also used to say, I'm a legend in my own mind, which I think is brilliant. If you ever get a chance, check out Big Fish. That pretty much sums up Uncle Arnie. That sums up Uncle Arnie. So, having said that, I'd love to collaborate with you. Find me on Instagram at Inspirado Projecto. I'm on Twitter at Inspirado Project. I got a Facebook page. You can send me email, inspiratoprojecto@gmail.com. Send me your stuff. I'll play it on the podcast. You can call the hotline, 561-203-9179, or you could call the hotline and actually and truly leave a message, and then I could put it into these episodes. Just ask Craig Spivak. Craig, if you're listening, I'm talking to you, bub. I'm talking to you, bub. Without further ado, I now say goodbye.